Okay, we're going to talk about gravitational potential energy. Now, just a little review on what potential energy is. So, potential energy is the energy of position. So, as an object is resting in a position, it will have potential energy because it's storing it. It would even have more potential energy if it has a greater mass, it's higher off the ground, and due to gravity. So as you see this person on this staircase, you can see that the higher they go on the staircase, more potential energy they have. And then once you release it and the object starts to move, then it gets converted into kinetic energy or some other energy like heat. So like the bicycle, he's storing the information and energy. When he gets to the top, he stores it, but then when he goes down and starts to move, he releases it. So here's some facts about potential energy. The more mass you have, the more potential energy you have. So looking at the examples here, I can have the same height, gravity is still the same, but the weights are different. As a result, you see that one has more potential energy than the other one. Also, the more height you get, you still get more potential energy. So looking at our examples, if you notice that our mass is the same, the gravity is the same, but you can see that if you change the height, they change, and you can see it dramatically increases just because it went up in height. Okay, so there is another type of potential energy. This is called gravitational potential energy. This is just potential energy due to an elevated position. So as an object is resting at a height off the Earth's surface, they're getting more energy because of gravity is now in play. So, but we have a formula. We got GPE equals mass in kilograms times G, which is 9.81. That's always constant. It will be in every problem the same number. And then H means height in meters. Now for the units for GPE, it's always in joules, okay, or just J. You always want to remember to put your units in when you solve a problem. Okay, let's look at our first example. So how much gravitational potential energy does a 50 kilogram object 5 meters high have on Earth? Okay, so we're going to use the guess method. So with our guess method, G means given. So we need to write down all of the given information. So I do know there is 50 kilograms, which is a mass. And it also gave me 5 meters high, so that's a height. Now, in every single one of these problems, gravity is going to play a role. So it's not written, but gravity is still there. Remember, if gravity ever disappeared, we'd be flying off the Earth's surface. So those are our given information. So U is for unknown. What are we trying to find? Well, we're trying to find the GPE. Okay, so for E, we are going to get our equation. So to find our equation, we're going to look at our triangle. Now, this is the same triangle we've used before. Remember that this bar is the dividing bar. And the ones next to each other are multiplication. So it's not any different, except now you just have an extra letter. So we still use it the same. I'm still trying to find GPE, so I'm going to go ahead and cover up the one I'm trying to find. Looking at our triangle, well, we're going to take M multiplied by G and multiply it by H. So that is my formula. GPE equals mass times G times H. Okay, so for the first S, it's substitution. So for all the letters in our equation, we're going to put numbers in. So GPE, still the unknown. Our mass is 50 kilograms. Our gravity is 9.81. And our H is 5 meters. So I'm going to do is take 50 times 9.81 times 5, and then I will get my answer. Okay, so the answer is going to be 2450. Or better yet, we're going to put our GPE equals 2450 joules. So don't remember to always put your units in. So let's look at another example. So how high do you have to lift a 1.5 kilogram rock to give it 200 joules of GPE? Okay, going back to our guess method. So G is for given. So what do we got? Well, we have 1.5 kilograms. That's a mass. So 1.5 kilograms. And we are given there's 200 joules of GPE. So GPE equals 200 joules. Now, just like I said in the last problem, gravity is always there. It's not written, but you always have to put gravity. So 9.81 meters per second square. So I got mine given. Now I go to my U, which is unknown. What am I trying to find? Well, I'm trying to find how high, which is a height. So I'm trying to find that H. Now, E is for equation. So let's go to our equation. Well, going to our triangle, I'm going to cover up the H because that's what I'm trying to find. So you can see that next to each other, they're going to be multiplied, but then I'm going to divide the GPE on top of that. So writing it out, I would say H equals GPE over mg. Sorry about that. M times g. Okay, now we just have to substitute. So H equals, actually it's a little crowded there. So I'm going to write a little bit further out. So H equals, let's see, our GPE was 200. And then our M is 1.5. And our G is 9.81. So that's how we're going to substitute. And once we calculate it, we should get a height of 13.61. But don't forget our units, it's in meters. So we're going to put an M for meters. And that's how I use the triangle method to solve GPE.